Green flag is dropped. Welcome, everyone, to Life in the Fast Lane. I am Andy Lang from WagerTalk.com. We are going to recap the race from Richmond real quick, and we're going to get to Martinsville. And, of course, we have the Australian Grand Prix, which is going to be an epic all-time Formula One race. We'll get to that a little bit later in the show. But first, I want to welcome you and thank you for joining. We are coming off of a ho-hum 1-1 betting week last week in NASCAR, so nothing too exciting, nothing too disastrous. Hopefully, we'll get back on the winning track. Leave your comments below and leave me your picks below. Tell me who you like. We got a Formula One race. We got the Martinsville night race. So tell me what you like. I want to see what everyone's thinking out there. And, of course, don't forget to hit the like button. Let's get into Richmond here real quick. It was a good race, a very good finish. Wasn't too exciting throughout the middle. We had a lot of cars get on different pit strategies, which was interesting to watch. Not a ton of craziness. You had a lot of the big names doing damage. It kind of felt like a Richmond race from years past and not necessarily with all the new cars. So we got Ryan Blaney winning stage 1, Truex winning stage 2, and Denny Hamlin makes the huge run to pass William Byron. That was a lot of fun. I wish that race would have gone on a few more laps. I would have loved to have seen Harvick and Hamlin battle it out a little bit more, but kudos to them. And you saw the big difference in tires. Poor William Byron just had no chance. I believe his tires were 20 laps older, and he just couldn't do anything. So Hamlin and Harvick's crew chiefs make the right call. They get on the right pit strategy, and sometimes that's what it takes to get a win. So congratulations to Hamlin. It's really nice to see Hamlin and Harvick doing well and running up front. The sport is definitely better with those two in the mix. The Stenhouse Award, we got a few of them. This one's near and dear to my heart. So Kurt Busch, fuel pressure goes out 10 laps into the race. I think he was, besides Biffle, he was the only one with car issues. The reason I bring this up is he was the guy I bet on. I bet on him over Cindric, and that bet was over before it even started. Didn't even have a chance. So that was our loss last week. I would have liked to have seen him at least have a chance to beat Cindric, because Cindric wasn't very good. He gets a spin in the middle of the race, but Kurt Busch fuel pressure goes out and he finishes the race 110 laps down. Ryan Blaney gets caught speeding on the second pit stop. He goes from the lead to 1 lap down. It's amazing these guys still get caught speeding in the pits. It blows my mind. Joey Logano running second comes into the pits and the crew can't get the car jack to work. Joey Logano was running second. He was having such a great day. Logano fans had to have been completely bummed about that. Nice little rebound, but boy, he should have been rewarded with a top 5 finish. But the winner has got to be Kyle Busch. His team puts a piece of tape over the grill when they're not allowed to. You can put it over the brake duct, but you can't put it over the front grill. NASCAR doesn't catch it till 200 laps after it happened, when there's only 40 laps to go, and so they black flag him. So if they would have caught it earlier, they could have at least let him come in early in the race and have him, have a chance to get back up the front. He did finish 9th, but the winner's got to be Kyle Busch illegally putting a piece of tape over the grill. NASCAR has no clue, even though it's a bright green strip of tape. Like, it wasn't even hidden. It wasn't like black tape on a black grill. It was like right there for everyone to see. They miss it for 200 laps. So congratulations to NASCAR and Kyle Busch for being this week's winner of the Ricky Stenhouse Award. Do a segment with new cars update, teams that are struggling and teams that are not struggling. Gibbs, this was their track to get on track and to really cement themselves up near the top, and they did it. They had a great day. All 4 cars inside the top 10. Hendricks gets 3 cars inside the top 10. Penske would have had a better day on paper if Logano didn't have the pit issue, but I got to say, there was nothing really noticeable. Feels like these cars are really starting to they're just starting to get their groove. We're not seeing cars spin all by themselves. So this new cars update segment may be going away, because if we get a few more races like this, I don't see anything really particular of note. And I wanted to keep an eye on these new cars because I wanted to see if there were teams that we could fade. And after Richmond, I'm not seeing it. So good job by all those guys. They got their cars working throughout. It's quicker in the season. I thought it was going to take a few months, but it looks like they've got the new cars dialed in. Let's take a look at this week's race. Iconic Martinsville at night on Saturday night. This is a Saturday night race. Make sure you mark that down. Don't get up Sunday and hope to watch the NASCAR race. It'll be long over. So Martinsville, it's the shortest track on the NASCAR circuit, just barely over half a mile. And I got to say, I think you're going to see the same suspects this week that we saw last week at Richmond. Rich bigger, but it's a similar style of driving. The same guys. Ryan Blaney, he is number one the last 6 Martinsville races with an average finish of 5.8. Martin Truex has 3 wins out of the last 6 here. His average finish is 6.2. Brad is up there with an average finish of 7.8, and he has 1 win. Logano, 8.3 average finish, and Kyle Busch, 9.5. A lot of the same guys we talked about last week. So what are we looking for? Well, I think we're looking for, it's going to be tough if a guy is running good and you get to a late restart and a guy is on the outside lane. This is the track probably where the inside lane on restarts is the most important. If you're on the outside and you cannot cut inside, you could really, really be screwed. This is where guys maybe are in like 5th, 6th, or 7th. They're on the outside, and all of a sudden they're back in 12th at the end, and they don't get the start that they deserve. The other thing you're going to see is if you have teammates starting 1st, 2nd, or 1st, 3rd, you're going to see a lot of teams working together where one of them will let the other pass so they can get on the inside track. So you're going to see a lot of teamwork. You're going to see a lot of guys working together, and this is a really good track. And if you don't like somebody, you can get some revenge on them. You can push guys out of the way. We've seen Ross Chastain do that. There's a lot of bumping and grinding. I call it root and gouge type of racing. So you got to get down and dirty to have success at this track, but it's going to be Saturday night. It should be a blast. I've already got my eyes on a couple guys, but it's not really a track I see long shots doing well at or winning. It's going to be your, Martin Truex and Denny Hamlins and, Brad, if he has that car good for a short track, he's got the ability, no doubt. And I would expect a good run from Joey Logano. I've got a best bet coming up here at the end of this show, so we'll take a look at that. Speaking of which, best bets, I'm going to have my NASCAR and Formula One pack up early. I'm going to have it up before Formula One starts qualifying. So if you guys want to get that, just go over to WagerTalk.com. We got to get our bets in early because it's on Saturday and there's a lot going on. MLB starts. We've got the Masters. We've got NBA, NHL. So I want to make sure we get our bets in. And I would strongly suggest everybody get your bets in early and don't wait until right before race. It can be very, very easy to forget these night races. So, all right, let us take a little trip to the slipstream. We are going to talk the Australian Grand Prix. Speaking of a Saturday night race, this is going to be setting up for an insane Saturday. You've got the Masters during the day. You got UFC at night. Martinsville at night. And then if you stay up for a couple hours, the Australian Grand Prix, I believe the green flag drops at 1 a.m. Eastern, which is technically Sunday morning, but you're just going to stay up and watch the Australian Grand Prix. All right, why is this race going to be so iconic? They have not raced here in 3 years. The crowd is going to be insane. It's going to be one of the most electric crowds that you've seen at a Formula One race. This is Daniel Ricciardo's home track, and he has just, shot to fame with the Netflix series. He's probably the most liked driver in Formula One. So you get the Australian crowd rooting for Ricciardo. You get that they haven't been there in years, and you get that they have resurfaced and changed this track to make it easier to pass. This track used to have a chicane in the middle of a long straight. I don't know why they did it. I think it was to slow them down a little bit, but they just got rid of it completely. So you have a really, really big long stretch, which is going to create a ton of passing. And the other thing they did, they took 5 of the turns and they widened them to help make passing easier. I think this is going to set up for an unbelievable race. The new cars have done a great job being able to pass each other and fight back. And with the adjustments that they made to this track, these guys are going to be running wide open and passing. I expect passing galore, especially in the middle of the pack. I would hope to see the Ferraris and the Red Bulls up front get engaged because I think this track is set up perfect for them. The expectation is the cars will be 4 to 5 seconds faster per lap on the new track than the previous one, now that they don't have to slow down and go through the chicane. So we should be looking at quite the battle. And I cashed last week on a bet. I talked to you guys about this. Before qualifying, you can grab a prop. You can take the Red Bull cars or the Ferrari cars. You can take either one of the teams to both have cars finish inside the top 6. It's minus 275, which sounds like a ton of juice. No way we would lay that kind of juice. But after qualifying, it moves up to minus 350. It looks like the Red Bull's reliability is there. The Ferraris look great, and nobody is getting near them. Mercedes is so far behind that it's just a Ferrari Red Bull 1, 2, 3, 4, unless something weird happens. So sometimes in sports you got to lay juice, and minus 275, in my opinion, before qualifying is a value on it. I think I'll be playing this damn near every race. I don't know why I would get away from it. So stay up late, look for a great Australian Grand Prix, look for more of the same with the Ferraris and the Red Bulls, but look for a lot of passing and a lot of speed. All right, let us get to our best bet. All of my premium client packages are on WagerTalk.com. You can grab them under my profile page. We're having an unbelievable month. We're up over 105 units all sports since March 1st. It's a record I'm really, really proud of. So grab it at WagerTalk.com. Best bet I'm going to go with Martin Truex over Chase Elliott. Martin Truex just has the highest ceiling of anybody at this track. He's won 3 out of the last 6 races here. And Chase Elliott has a good record here. He's a premier driver, champion. So he does have some top 5 finishes. He's won here. But in the last race here in the old car, he finished 16th, where Truex was ahead of him. And I thought Truex looked really, really good last week. Last week's track was Martin Truex specialty as well. He finished inside the top 5. Chase Elliott, I thought, just didn't look as good. And I expect Truex to be fighting for the win this week. I expect Chase Elliott to have a goal of maybe top 5, as I just don't quite see the upside with him right now on this short track. Truex has kind of struggled on the bigger tracks this year, but I thought he really shined last week, led a bunch of laps. So I'm going to take Martin Truex as one of the favorites to win this race head-to-head over Chase Elliott. So just to recap, everyone, Martin Truex over Chase Elliott. Take a look at the Ferrari and the Red Bulls for both cars on one team to finish inside the top 6. All my plays will be found at WagerTalk.com. We got an amazing weekend of sports with everything. And here at WagerTalk, we got you covered with all of your wagering needs. I'm Andy Lang, and I also want to send a shout out to Steve Merrill at WagerTalk.com and Rocky Atkinson at SportsMembo.com. Both of those guys are having incredible years. Rocky doesn't put up that many plays, but when he does, you know what to do. And Steve is just having an incredible basketball season with college basketball over and NBA playoffs. So check those guys out. My 2 guys from Life in the Fast Lane. So good luck, everyone. Let's have a great weekend. Let's get on the winning track and cash those racing tickets. We'll see you next week on Life in the Fast Lane.